We had another driving test from Birmingham's Garretts Green. If you do want to see the full video, head over to my profile, click on the YouTube link, and you'll see it with nothing removed if you're here for the memorisation and just seeing what the routes are like. The main gate is still broken, so today it is leaving from the other side entrance. As he's emerging, he's already starting to do his observations to the left and to the right, as both sides are in operation all the time. Now, this is the second test I've had. They've been slightly over the line. It hasn't had a mark for that. I think it's because it doesn't normally leave from this gate. It didn't impact anyone, so it was fine. However, if anyone had to come around the corner, this could quite easily go down as faults. As normal, there are vans parked on the left, so you make sure the road ahead's clear before he starts to move out. When the truck started moving across the middle of the road, he's checked his centre mirror, which is a really good practice to do. It's just seeing what's around you. His general pace of this road is about 12 miles per hour to 18 miles per hour. He doesn't get much faster than that. He picked up a minor fault for appropriate speed. As you can see, there's always cars parked up on the side you may need to move out of the way for. Now, there is a van parked up on the left at the moment with an oncoming vehicle. He doesn't think he can fit, so he starts to reduce his speed and he holds back. There's now a vehicle that's appeared behind him, so before he moves off, he checks his mirrors and he signals off. He's just letting the car behind him know, look, I'm not parked up, I'm just waiting for the oncoming vehicles. This is 100% allowed, and it's one of the few times that you would indicate when passing a parked vehicle. He doesn't miss any appropriate gaps and he moves out at a good time. This road can get quite busy, so make sure you practice it a lot before your test, as your instructors are probably getting you to do anyway. He's been asked at the roundabout to turn left. He starts signalling just before this turn that you can see to your left. Halfway past this turning would be a good time to signal, but because nobody was impacted by the early signal, is 1 minor. He's been asked to go left at the roundabout. As he goes round the corner, he has his clutch down inside the cabin and he tries to give it some gas and move off quicker. Due to his clutch being down, the car can't pick up speed. He got 1 minor fault here. It's not the safest to go around bends with the clutch down. It can increase the speed of the car, make steering harder, but also if the clutch is all the way down, you won't be able to build up that speed as you enter the new road. The examiner's now asked him to pull up on the right. If you do get asked to do this, you know it's going to be for the pull up on the right and reverse 2 cars lengths manoeuvre. It's the easiest out of all of them. If you get this, you're in for a winner. When he pulls up on the right, he is quite wide from the curb. He's left about a drain's width gap, which generally is the maximum that you'll be allowed to leave. Now would be a really good time for him to start to move closer into the curb as he moves backwards. He didn't do that, he actually ended up going a little bit more wider. He picked up 1 minor fault here. It was wide from the curb, but he didn't block any oncoming traffic. He's now been asked to follow road signs for Chelmsley Wood for the independent part of his driving. From this roundabout sign we can see Chelmsley Wood is straight ahead second exit. There's no road markings here, so we followed the 12 o'clock rule. For some reason he does put his left signal on here and the examiner does say, "Which way are we going?" to which he replies, "Straight ahead." Halfway through he realises that he's not turning left and he had his left signal on and he cancels it off, so we got one minor here. That would be for signals correctly used. Now at the moment it is 2 lanes. He's checking his right mirror as he can see somebody's trying to overtake. He doesn't build up his speed too quickly and allows them to overtake. This here shows why it's so important that at that junction you check your right mirror just to see if there is anyone overtaking as the lanes merge back into one. That could easily have been a serious fault. The speed limit down here is 30 miles per hour. When he approaches the speed camera, he reduces his speed quite a bit. It actually gets down to about 23, 22 miles per hour here. There was cars behind us, it did slow them down, so he gets a second minor for appropriate use of speed. You're still following road signs for Chelmsley Wood. At this roundabout it's a right and it shows you on the floor with arrows that it is a right turn. Therefore you must have a right signal on. He enters the roundabout with no right signal, but he does signal off. Again, nobody was impacted here. This went down under signals necessary. One minor. At the moment, he's about 15 minutes through his driving test. If he carries on getting the same amount of faults at this rate, he will have too many and will get a serious fault due to too many minors. From this point, he's following road signs for Kingshurst. Kingshurst is the first exit left at the roundabout, so he needs to move over to the left-hand lane. He signals over, but he doesn't check any mirrors, so they gave him one minor fault here for use of mirrors change of direction. Going around this roundabout, we have the same issue where he's entering the roundabout with his clutch down. This can have problems for a few different reasons. Mainly, you'll be slow at taking off. It could build up the speed, the car will be harder to control. It's just not good. At the roundabout, we're taking the first exit. He doesn't signal off at this roundabout, so he has another minor fault for use of signals. Now, down here could quite easily have turned into a serious fault. He's following the road ahead and he sees a flashing sign at the side. He thinks it says 20 miles per hour, but it actually says 30 miles per hour. And due to the fact it's in a school zone, he sits here roughly about 20 miles per hour until a bit later on he notices what speed he's going and then he starts to pick it up. So he got another minor here for appropriate speed. Coming up as he passes his cars, he does get very close to the cars on the left. There was a big enough gap for them to fit through, but he needed to be positioned more to the right, so he got very close to their wing mirrors. He got one minor fault here. That could quite easily have been a serious fault if he'd have been that little bit closer to the left. This is one of my least favourite areas to take people, for the reason being the left turn that he's about to do coming up, it can get very quite blind, and as it bends around the corner to the right as well, it's nearly impossible to see what's coming at you. So you need to be really careful here with judgment and meeting situations. The road ahead isn't very clear, cars and people can come out of nowhere. Be quite cautious around these streets. Everyone's favourite tunnel's coming up. He does quite a clever thing and he follows the flow of the traffic through. You can see ahead it's safe to do so, so he handles this well, he doesn't falter. On this stretch of road again, he doesn't get up to speed when it's clear. The other vehicles in front are really quite far away and the speed stays at about 24 miles per hour. You'll notice the GPS one shows it slightly differently, it's not the most accurate. He's now got 4 driving faults for appropriate speed. If he gets one more driving fault, it will turn into a serious driving fault and he'll fail his test. Again, as he goes around this roundabout, he does take a suitable gap, but his clutch is down. It creates quite a lot of engine noise, and it's not the best to be going around roundabouts with your clutch down, or any junction for that matter. Going around this roundabout, he's been asked to go right 6th exit. The signal cancels off halfway through and he doesn't reapply it. He does remember, however, as he's coming off, to check his mirrors and then he signals off. Nobody was impacted, so he got yet another minor for use of signals. One thing to note, because there were other cars waiting at the exit he was taking, if he hadn't signalled off, that could have become a serious fault very easily. I don't know about you, but we're so close to the test centre now. He's got 15 faults, and he's got 4 driving faults under appropriate speed. He can do this, he's very close, but he has to be careful at this point. Up ahead, the vehicle starts to flash him to say that he can go. He waits for them to start slowing down and then he moves in. This is the correct thing to do. If they're maintaining the same speed, it might not be safe to go, and it might not be for you. So the results are in. He managed to pass his driving test with 15 driving faults. It was a close one, but at the end of the day, a pass is a pass.